In today's video, I will be showing you how to make a granny square in one solid color, as well as how to change the color on each row. So for today's video, you will need a crochet hook, yarn needle, scissors, and whatever yarn you'll be using for the project. In today's video, I'll be using a 6.5mm hook. Usually with yarn this size, I'll use a 5mm hook, but I want you to be able to see the stitches and the detail a little easier, and my hook movement on screen a little easier as well, so I will be using a bigger hook so you can see that no problem. So you'll be starting off with a magic circle. I have a video on how to do this if you need to watch that. It is the Crochet Basics, I believe. So you'll start off with a magic circle, you'll chain 3, and that's going to be acting as one of your double crochets. And for granny squares, most of them are pretty much just double crochets, which I have a video on how to do a double crochet as well. So you'll chain 3, and then you'll do 1 double crochet into the magic circle, do 1 more double crochet in the magic circle, and then you'll chain 2, and then you'll yarn over, do another double crochet, 2 double crochets, and 3 double crochets. So those chain 2s will be your corners. You'll see how that comes out in just a moment. So you'll have 4 sets of the 3 double crochets. So you're going to chain 2 again, double crochet number 1, and double crochet number 2, and double crochet number 3, chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets, and then you're going to grab that, pull it nice and tight, and then you'll do your last corner, which will be 2 double crochets, and then you'll go 1, 2, 3, which will be that last chain of that set of 3 that you did at the beginning. You'll go in there, pull up a loop, slip stitch, and then you'll chain 3, turn your work, double crochet 2 into that first corner, and then the chain is your first one, second one, third one. Then you'll chain 2, and you'll do 3 more double crochets into that same corner, and then depending on how you want your granny square to look, you can chain 1 on these straightaway sections. I usually don't. I do, however, have a project where I am because I want it to be more spacey and airy, but you don't have to if you want it to be a little tighter. So you're going to go ahead and go straight into that next corner and double crochet 3 times. Chain 2. Double crochet 3 times into that corner again. And then 3 double crochets into the next corner. Chain 2. And 3 double crochets into the next corner. Chain 2, Now that you're back at the beginning, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, which will be that last chain in that set of 3 that you did. You'll go in, and you'll chain 3, turn your work, and then right in there you'll do 2 double crochets. There's your set of 3. We'll go into the corner or the next spot, do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and now you have these middle bits you'll be going into. You'll just chain, or sorry, you'll just crochet 3 double crochets in there. And then in the next corner, you do those the same as you've been doing. And then in that middle one again, you'll just do the 3. And it'll just keep going like that. On this one you had 1, on the next one you'll have the 2, and I'll meet you right back here to show you what it'll look like. Alright, and now that you're back at the beginning, you'll go to that first one, go 1, 2, 3, which is the last chain you did at the beginning. Go in just as before. And there you have a granny square all in one color. And now I'm going to show you how to do a different color for each row. If you want just one color and you want it to be bigger, you can just keep going as I showed you until it reaches the size that you want. Now I will show you how to do a different color for each row. Alright, so you went ahead and did your magic circle, you made the middle square the color you want, and you've inserted it into that last bit. And now instead of chaining 3 to move on to the next row, you're going to chain 2. You're going to give yourself a little bit of a tail, and you're going to cut it. Pull that out. And now you have yourself a square. And now we're going to move on to the next color, which for me, I'm going to be using this pink. And you're going to slip stitch, put your hook through this corner that you have the knot in. And then what I like to do is I like to pull some of it a little loose. That way when you pull this through, the knot stays in the back. Pull this over. That way when you chain, the front looks nice and then the knot stays in the back. So you're going to chain 3 and then you're going to double crochet. And then you're going to double crochet again. I'm just going to put those behind you. And now you have 1/2 of your first corner, and that's where you end when you come back around. You're going to move on to the next corner. Just as before. Into the next corner. Chain 2. 3 double crochets into that same corner. Into the next corner. 3 double crochets. Chain 2, into the same corner, 3 double crochets, into the next corner, which is the last set of 3 double crochets that you're going to do for this row. And then for the last corner, you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to, in that last set of 3, 1, 2, 3, which is the 3rd chain you did in that first set of chains, pull through, chain 2, cut, unless you want to keep going with that color, in which case you'll just keep going around and around. Pull that through, pull it nice and tight, and I will show you how to add another color, which for me is going to be this blue. Slip stitch into the corner where you stopped before. Again, loosen it up. One, 2, 3, then chain, or sorry, double crochet 2 into that corner. And see, on the other one, you kept going where this was the front, and you turn your work back and forth. On this one, this stays the front the entire time. Go into the next one, chain 3, or sorry, double crochet 3 times. Go into your next loop, double crochet 3 times. Chain 2, go into the next one, double crochet 3 times, and since I already showed you how to do this when we did the full color, I'm going to meet you right back here, and I will show you how to weave in your ends. Now that we're reaching the end, you're going to go into that last corner, do 3 double crochets, and I am so sorry if you can hear that in the background. It just started pouring down rain. I'm not sure if you can hear it. Oh, and it's thundering. That is perfect. All right, you're gonna do those 3 double crochets. You're going to chain 2, and then 1, 2, 3 into that top chain. You go in, chain 2, and then you'll snip, and that will be your square. And you can also block it once you get to where you want. You can get it wet, take it somewhere, pin it, and let it set and dry. You can also steam it, flat iron it, whatever you want to do. All right, now the yarn needle. For the middle bit, depending on like the grippiness of the yarn, like this one, I would personally just pull and then snip. You can also take it and weave it through the middle if you want. Like I said, I personally would just snip it, but I will show you how to weave that in. So it's coming this direction, so I will skip that first loop and go back in the opposite direction. Now for more like slippery yarn, like I do have some projects where I made with like some really soft cotton yarn or some really soft acrylic yarn where I did do this, but usually for this kind of grippier, like what is this, Red Heart? Yeah, this Red Heart brand, I wouldn't worry about it, and I would just pull it tight and snip it. But for the sake of the video, I will show you how to weave it in. And then for these, the reason I did it in the corners, because then instead of weaving in multiple ends, you can weave these in together. And there are no right or wrong ways to do this. You can do it however you want. I'm going to go back in, but I'm going to skip this first loop. Instead of going right in, I'm going to go over it. I'm going to go all the way through. I'm going to pull that. And then you're going to go over that last one and go all the way through. And then, like I said, whenever I have the more slippery type of yarn where I wouldn't have bothered, or sorry, when I would have weaved this in, I would usually go back in again, but with this kind of yarn, I usually just go through twice and give it a snip. And then you'll just keep doing that for that one and any other layer that you have, and it'll give you a nice finished granny square. And then in my next video, I'm going to show you how to sew them together to attach them, as well as if you have, say, a bunch that you're putting together and you want the outer color to be the one that connects them all, I'll show you how to do that as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section below. If you would like, you can also contact me on Instagram. I'll have that linked in the description box below as well. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Bye!